Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kool-Aid Pod. Uh, Today, I'm going to be covering the Barcelona game against Atletico Madrid. Ended in a 2-0 defeat away from home, and it's a very tough game to cover. Barcelona throughout the game was outmatched, outplayed. We, even though that um, Barcelona had most of the possession, we had in the match we had we had 71% possession throughout the game, but we didn't create any chances with the ball. Other than half chances here and there, two chances specifically come up, the continuous shots. It was very poor. Barcelona was not effective throughout the game, and our defense was just horrendous. You saw how Atletico Madrid, with very few chances, but very clear chances, hurt Barcelona so much. Um, and you can really see the the lack of tactical knowledge, lacks of tactical planning that this team has. The lack of know-how from Koeman. You see how the defense is so easily breached. You saw Mingueza pressuring up high forward, and no one's covering his back. You have Araujo, and then no one is covering in the back, and then you have Lamar running through, cutting through in PK as well. Not, and then one versus one against Ter Stegen. And it's a very tough game. Um, it was very frustrating because as a control game, they they had the ball. Don't get me wrong. We created. We had the ball. We we were able to keep possession of it. We were able to put pressure on Atleti, but we never seemed like to score. We never had any chances. And Barcelona is going down a very dark, dark path because out of our last, let's say, 5 games, we've only won one. One, and we've only scored very few goals. We don't know where the goals are going to come from. If it's not from, let's say, Memphis Depay with creating an act of magic or a moment of brilliance, we don't know where the goals will come from. It is true that we do have a lot of attack, a lot of our forwards are injured. Dembele, Aguero, Ansu Fati coming back from injury. Ansu Fati did have minutes today, didn't have a great lot of impact, but you saw how with very little, Ansu Fati was able to create. Mm, Ansu Fati had two shots, but um, they weren't very dangerous. But it was he created something, and this is just very tough to watch. Because Koeman is out of his depth. You saw last season how Koeman did not win a single big match. He lost all the big matches, and he hasn't positively impacted any of those games. Um, Mid-game, he would start the game, and if we concede first, we start losing. That's how it's gonna finish. If the players on the field don't resolve the issue, no one else is gonna resolve it for them. Um, and we can clearly see this because now with the loss of two, Messi and Griezmann, and with the injury of a lot of our forwards, we don't know where it goes to come from. Uh, Today, as stated before, our defense was very poor. It speaks volumes. Um, Barcelona throughout the last couple of years has always been shady at the back. We've had good defenders, but what classified them as great, as a world beater, as world class was their midfield and their attack. They defended with the ball. And now with good quality midfielders and I would say subpar attackers, Barcelona is now going to have to rely on their defending. And we are, as a team, are not good enough to defend. And we see that we struggle with it. Um, with the inclusion of more forwards such as Dembele and Aguero, they're not going to help us defend. It's not going to help us defend. Yes, they're going to create goals, but is it going to be enough for us to win? I don't think so. And I also know that there's been uh, a lot of lashing out towards Laporta for his decision for not sacking Koeman and keeping him in the job right before the game in Atletico Madrid. Um, uh, Laporta supported Koeman and gave some words of confidence, saying, "I am going to support him." And it's a very complicated decision because there are not any top quality coaches out there that are available that can take this job. We we have many names listed: Xavi, Pirlo, Roberto Martinez, um, Eric Ten Hag, Gallardo. All of these are, or and even Antonio Conte, are coaches that, in one way or another, have a flaw. Andre Pirlo, Xavi, they both lack experience. Xavi is coaching in Saudi Arabia, in Middle East, but I personally don't think that he has enough experience to be managing Barcelona at this level. And and we've seen how this situation has gone with Pirlo at Juventus. It just because you were a great player does not mean that you're going to turn out to be a great coach. And I think we personally have to see uh, more of Xavi to know if he's up to this job. And with Xavi, we would have to have a lot of patience with him because this is he's coming into a very difficult situation. And another doubt is will he have the guts to, let's say, move out the heavyweights of the dressing room, such as Piqué, Sergio Roberto, Busquets, Jordi Alba, and possibly even Ter Stegen. Will he have the guts let's say, bench them in important games and give more opportunities to younger players? Because we saw in our previous matches how the younger players are the ones who are actually performing. They're the ones who are putting in today against Atletico Madrid. You saw how Busquets was exposed, how Piqué was exposed. The and then at the, right after the game, you have Koeman signaling Nico Gonzalez, who started this game, and said he's at fault for the Margot. Yes, he made a mistake, but he shouldn't be pointing out at the youngsters. He should be pointing out the veterans in that team who are not taking command. And even Ronald Koeman himself, he has never once taken the blame. Say, hey, yes, I made a mistake. I had not set up the team tactically right for this game. I got it wrong. I assumed that Atletico Madrid would play this way. They would attack through this way, but no, they attacked the other way, and it's my fault, and I will improve on that. We have not seen that from Koeman, and that's very damning of him because he's just building his own grave. And now we see that Koeman is just he's not gonna resign because he wants that compensation fee when if he gets sacked, and Barcelona do have the money for it. Just I personally think why the decision of Laporta not sacking him, not sacking Koeman, is because he wants um, a top coach to take over this situation, and there aren't any top coaches available. Eric Ten Hag. recently said that he's not gonna leave the mid-season with Ajax to join Barcelona, so he's out of the picture. Maybe let's say next season, but we for a full season with Kumi, this is gonna be very detrimental. We have Roberto Martinez, who said the same thing. He's not gonna leave Belgium next year World Cup. Very unlikely that these two coaches leave their position. You have Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte is free right now, but he demands huge wages. And you saw in Inter Milan how he had to leave because the wages he was earning and the amount of money that he wanted for players to be coming in was just too much. Inter said no, 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 thank you. And money is what Barcelona does not have at this moment. Barcelona do have the money to sack Koeman, but more than that, um, very little. For the other coaches, Xavi and Pirlo, I personally think that they don't have enough experience. Pirlo's disaster at Juventus. Xavi, we haven't seen enough. Yes, you could say how Pep Guardiola didn't have enough experience when he took the job, but we cannot assume that just because Pep Guardiola was a success does not mean that Xavi will also be a success. Um, I agree with Laporta that Xavi should first, after his turn for coaching at the Middle East, Qatar, he should go and coach Barcelona B, uh, gain some more experience, or if not, coach a team in Europe, gain some more experience before he takes the job at as the first team coach. And Koeman now has three big games after this international break. Thank God that the Barcelona is uh, is not playing midweek because at the rate we're going, we are playing awful. The first game that we're going to be playing once we come back from the international break is against Valencia uh, at home, and that's going to be a tough game because no matter who you are, Barcelona seems to have trouble with them, and even at this point, Valencia are they have the same amount of points as we do, but they're above the table. And not only is that a must-win game, we have a home game against Dynamo of Kiev, where that is absolutely must win if we are to have any hopes of proceeding in the Champions League. Then on the 24th, the weekend when we come back, the weekend after we come back, it's going to be against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, a Clásico, an El Clásico, and we can't lose any more points because if we keep losing points, we might as well just say goodbye to the league title. And as a Barcelona player, and if you support this club, the ambitions are only win everything. You have as a Barcelona player, you your expectations are to win every single trophy that you play for. That is the expectations. And now with Koeman, you see this defeatist attitude all the time. You see him coming out saying, "Yes, we have limitations. It is what it is. We we have a sad reality. Our squad isn't as strong as years before. We completely understand that our squad isn't as good. Let's say in the past years, but we still need at least to compete. This part compete. Um, Even though we had the ball, we never looked threatening. It was just a very poor performance from Barcelona. And we've seen through these past games, the game against Bayern, we lost 3-0. Absolute disaster. And if Bayern Munich were sharp, they would have scored more. At home, imagine this at home, Barcelona losing, let's say 5, 6, 7. That's just unheard of. And uh, of course, Koeman is known for breaking records. It's so disappointing. The game against Benfica. Benfica. The last time they beat us was in 1961, and we go and lose to them away from home 3-0. That's just poor. It's just poor. No matter what team you have, Barcelona has to win those games. If not, at least compete. We did not look at competing at all. Um, it's just so frustrating. But looking up to the next games, we have three finals that we must win. The game against Valencia, the game against Dinamo Kiev in the Champions League, and then the game against Real Madrid in the Clásico. We have to win those three games because if not, you might as well say goodbye to the season. You might as well say goodbye to the Champions League, which we are in desperate need for. The money from the Champions League to get out of this hole. We are recovering, but we're still not out of trouble. And so happy that the international break is coming, and hopefully Barcelona, hopefully Laporta has a master plan with Koeman, and there's something in mind to help fix and turn the situation around. Well, this has been uh, my my review, my thoughts about today's game, and I'll leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you did disagree with anything I said, and I'll catch you next time.